Hey everybody, it's Bruno. Here's my new episode of AndB. Be my next guest on AndB by clicking on the link below and we'll contact you. So listen, enjoy the episode.
That's right. What's up, you sucker? What's up, you sucker?
Obviously, if athletes come to the Sports Institute, you kind of have to take them in, I guess, right?
Yeah. We don't choose the athletes. The National Sport Organizations send us the list and say these are the athletes that we've targeted for a 4-year period, an 8-year period, and in some cases they have 12-year plans for next generation athletes that they want to invest in, and then we work to build out their high performance plan. And so that's my day-to-day, and then the stuff with Bo and John has just been a bit of a passion project and a side hustle, if you will.
But you're doing well.
I love it.
You came very highly recommended. I'm not just joking. No, I'm serious. That's how we got to know each other. Or met each other anyways. But what is small world? But so the Institute, that happens.
Yeah.
But let's say I'm an Olympic athlete or a former or a present professional athlete. I want to work with you. You want to help me grow my brand, business, whatever.
Call me.
I'll call you. But what are some of the, especially in the last couple of years, what are some of the criteria now you're saying, slow down, Jackie?
Sure.
Checklist. What's your checklist?
My checklist, first and foremost, are do we match each other on the passion scale? Like if it's just how do I build something and I'm not as interested in the journey as I am about how do I get to where I am and can you do that for me? I don't do well with that. I love collaboration. I love beating up ideas. I'm much more interested in somebody who's super passionate but doesn't know how to direct it and helping them shape their next steps than being told what to do. So that's first and foremost. You gotta want it as bad as you say you do. So put your money where your mouth is a little bit. So when I'm working with athletes, it's I will lead you where you need to go, but I'm not gonna pull you. So that's probably another thing. And then somebody who matches my energy. It doesn't hurt if people are charismatic and are marketable and have a good story. And it might not be something that you're even aware of, but can you do some self-reflection and have a plan of where you want to be and what you want to be in your next life, so to speak.
And I must say that's one of the things that when we first met and started talking and everything, it was your energy that I'm like, oh my gosh, like you go. No, I don't mean that. Well, here's something is that some people view energy as possible. I'm not a psychologist or anything, but they view energy as kind of like, ooh, that's too much for me, but it's all relative to the ambition you bring. And I think that if there's an athlete, and maybe this is part of your criteria based on our other conversations, but if an athlete says, when they really want a gold medal, or they want the Stanley Cup, or they want a Grey Cup or something, that's a want. Nothing stops them. But then when they get into business, it feels like, I kind of want to be successful, but I need it more than I want it. Yeah. And I think that's where, I was always impressed with your energy versus success on the business field. And do you find that they think it's a want, but it's actually a need because you got to pay bills now?
Totally. And I think that's where ideas and concepts and visions fall flat, is if you don't know how to execute it. And I like seeing the big picture and then building the stepping stones. That's where I excel. You tell me what you want and we'll find a way to get there. And that is often difficult because it's I want to make money. I need to survive. I want to drive an Audi. I want to do this. I want to do that. That doesn't get you what you want. Hard work, passion, dedication, all of those things. But a lot of athletes, they don't know how to translate their high performance world into career and business. And the ironic thing is that there's so much synergy there. And if people knew the passion and dedication of an athlete, and how much that would impact their corporate, and not just because I hired a guy I know, right, who has an Olympic, that happens lots too. I want to hire you to be a salesperson, or I want you to be the face of something. well, that's not matching the skill set with their career goals, and you end up being in a position where you tell your story time and time again and you don't really feel like you're getting anywhere. So knowing what skill sets you have and what that translation looks like is really key to success for sure.
See, I like to drop names only if they're good names, but
Okay.
no, I mean it, but I keep bringing Tony up and Spally from Spalumbo's.
Wow, he's got a great story too.
He's got a great story, but we talk about this quite often because a lot of people come up to him and ask him, hey, you did a great, you do great work and your business is great. And he said something interesting, and I like to share this with everybody, is that he said, when I retired football, that's when I started working. and it's fun because nobody cuts you anymore at work. You run out of money. And so I help some people in their entrepreneurism, and they always say, what do you run out of time and money? I said, no, you run out of money before you run out of time.
Totally.
We have all day to talk.
Yeah.
If we have no money and we're in the park here, it's got nothing to do. But how do you actually, this is your business now. Like, how do you kind of get them over the, you're retired, but now you probably have to end up working a million times harder than you ever have before.
Totally.
Because you're not relying on your God-given ability to throw a ball or curl a rock. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Or
well, and
cross a
I
rock?
think that's a bit different between an Olympic athlete and a professional athlete. Is professional athletes are paid to win, and all barriers are removed as much as possible to ensure that they win, right? And so there's a lot of spoon feeding and a lot of paving the way for them to do what they do best, which is what they're getting paid for, which is the whole point, right? Olympic athletes, depending on how good you are you grinding, or are people removing barriers so that you can continue to stay get on top and be on top? Right. But the thing with business is especially if you're becoming an entrepreneur of some kind, is it starts and ends with you. And you have to remove your own barriers, and you have to be 2, 5, 10 steps ahead of people to stay unique in a marketplace that's continuously churning out people that all have great ideas and great visions, and maybe they don't have an Olympic medal or a Grey Cup, but they have a story, and you have to figure out a way to differentiate yourself, and that takes a lot of hard work and a lot of hitting the pavement and not just relying on your name. And that's what Bo and I've really worked on, is he can be the biggest voice in the room, but he can also be incredibly humble, and he doesn't necessarily know how much people want to know about him and his journey and his story of, I'm not just doing this for cash. Right? We're not making any money right now, but it's fun.
What?
But it's, we will.
What kind of business manager are you? Hold on, just cut the tape here.
Yeah, there
Make
you go.
the coin. Yeah, no, that's good. I get it.
But yeah, it really becomes him having to commit to, this is something in the community that he is committed to, and it's not just a one and done and using his name and showboating in the community. It's something that he's really passionate and invested about, and that takes storytelling, and that takes commitment, and
I've been
picking up the phone, right? Calling you, having those conversations.
So I've been to the camps, and he's down there.
He's incredible.
Pink shoes and everything. Yeah,
all about the
no,
pink
I mean,
shoes.
there are a lot of camps that people just kind of walk around. I'm it and you're not.
I use my name. I take some selfies and I get out. No, he's actually coaching, and he's super enthusiastic about it.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, if you want someone to be our next guest, simple. Click below in the description and we'll get in touch with them. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe, and you'll never ever miss another episode.